guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 2, Chapter 7.5, Cumulative Review. Remember to show all of your work and to circle your final answers. So, starting with number 1. Just factor completely. So, all we have to do is factor, we do not have to solve. The first thing you should always do is check for GCF. Is there GCF? Yeah. With all of these numbers, we can take out a 2. So don't forget the GCF out front. 70 divided by 2 is 35, 40 divided by 2 is 20, 28 divided by 2 is 14, and 16 divided by 2 is A. Okay? Now is when we split it up and we take the GCF of the front versus the GCF of the back. So from the front, we can take out a 5, and we can also take out an A. From the back, our leading coefficient is negative, so we take out negative 2. That's the only thing that we can take out. Okay? So when we rewrite that, 5a comes out front, and we have 7b plus 4a. We took out a negative 2. 14 divided by 2 is 7b plus 4a. And what do you know? Those match up, which makes us happy. So we get 5a minus 2, 7b plus 4a, and then do not forget about that 2 that we took out from the very beginning. Okay? Alright, number 2. Number 2, the first thing we do is check to see if there's a GCF, which there isn't. So then we need to, it's a trinomial. We multiply those two and we get 20. The factors of 20 are 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. So what numbers add up to negative 12? We'll multiply to get to positive 20. Okay? And that should be negative 2 and negative 10. So you split that middle term. Draw the line down the middle. The GCF of the front is x. The GCF of the back is a negative 10y. So we get x, and then we're left with x minus 2y. When you pull out the negative 10y, we're left with x minus 2y, which is perfect. Because remember, you always want those to match up. That's our check. Our final answer is x minus 10y and x minus 2y. Just be very careful with all of your variables. All right, number 3. Is there a GCF? No. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing as before. You multiply the 5 and the 6 to get 30. You get 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. So out of those, which ones add up to negative 11, but multiply to get to positive 30? Okay? It's negative 5 and negative 6. We split the middle term. You get 5m squared, excuse me, minus 5m minus 6m plus 6. The GCF of the front is 5m. Of the back, it's negative 6. And we need to divide that out, you get m minus 1, and we get m minus 1. Those are the same. So when we're done, we get 5m minus 6. M minus 1 is our final answer. Okay, now we've done a couple together. I'll start you off with 4, and then you guys are going to finish it yourself. Okay? So, remember, the first thing you always ask, is there a GCF? And for this one, there is. We can divide a 2 out, and then you're left with w squared minus 5w minus 6. You'd multiply those two. 6 is 1 and 6, 2 and 3. So find the combination that adds up to negative 5 and multiplies to get to negative 6. You guys are on your own, so good luck. Pause that video, please. Okay, and when you're all done, you should get 2w minus 6, w plus 1. Key thing, don't forget about that 2. I almost did. That's why it looks so tiny. Okay? Alright, let's move on to number 5. So, number 5. Is there a GCF? The answer? Yes. Okay? We can factor out the 2. So, the 2 comes out front. So I'm going to move this down a little bit. So the 2 comes out front, and we're left with 9m squared minus n squared. Now, it's a quadratic binomial, and it's the difference of 2 squares, okay? The key thing here, guys, is to make sure you're looking at your exponents. Difference of 2 squares, one's a plus, one's a minus. 9 squared is 3, or the square root of 9 is 3. The square root of m squared is m, and the square root of n squared is n. And then that's as far as we can go. Alright, number 6, look at the exponent, and then look at your sign. Okay, this is the difference of 2 cubes. So there is a pattern for this. We need to know what A is and what B is. Oh, I'm sorry. So we need to know A and B. Okay, because the pattern is A minus B, A squared plus AB minus B squared. So that's our pattern. But to figure out what those are, we have to take the cube root of both of those. So the cube root of x cubed is x, and the cube root of 64 is 4. So from here on out, all we're doing is filling in our pattern. So A is x, B is 4. That's x times x, which is x squared, plus x times 4, which is 4x, plus b squared, which is 4 times 4, which is 16. Okay? And that is the final answer. All right, number 7. Difference now is we are solving. Okay? Once that 0 comes into effect, equals 0, we have to find out what our answers are. Okay? And now the factoring part is the exact same. We check to see if there's a GCF. There isn't. We're looking for the factors of 56. that up to, add up to -1, and multiply to -56. Okay? So I'm going to let you guys do the factoring part on your own, and then once we're finished, I'll jump in there. Okay? So pause the video, and good luck. Okay, so when you factor everything out, you should get w minus 8 and w plus 7 equals 0. Now, from this point right here, everything with a variable we set equal to 0. So w minus 8 equals 0, and w plus 7 equals 0. And you solve, and that's where you get w equals 8 and -7. Sound good? Good. All right. Number 8. Now, don't just jump in and be like, yo, Mr. Grice, look, it's a cube. It's the difference of two cubes. No. Okay? Remember rule number 1? Always check to see if there's a GCF. And there is. You can take out a 3n. When you take out the 3n, you're left with n squared minus 25 equals 0. Okay, and now it's not the difference of two cubes, it's the difference of two squares. So we square root both sides, and we get 3n. Remember, 1's a plus and 1's a minus. Square root of 25 is 5. Now, everything with the variable, oops, gets set equal to 0. So 3n equals 0, n plus 5 equals 0, and n minus 5 equals 0. And that's where you get your answers of n equals 0, -5, and 5. Okay, number 9. Now, 9's a little different because we have variables on both sides. Okay, so what we have to do is figure out what our leading coefficient is. It's going to be one of those two. Now, I want our to be positive, so 3x squared wins. So what we're going to do is we're going to take everything on the right side and add it to the left side. Those cancel, and now we're left with 5x squared plus 11x plus 6 equals 0. Okay? Now, first thing to always check, is there a GCF? No. Okay, so next thing to do is we gotta multiply 5 times 6, and we get, oops, we get 30. So I want numbers that add up to get to 11 and multiply to get to 30. Now you guys are all on your own. I'm going to make you factor this, and then I'll come back and let you solve. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, so when you're done factoring, you should get 5x plus 6 and x plus 1. Oh, did we do something wrong? Yes, I did, guys. Hello. Were you yelling at me? Because I did the same thing over on my sheet. What's 7 plus 6? 7 plus 6 is 13. So I want numbers that add up to 13, which are not those numbers. Mr. Grice, wake up. It's been a long day, guys. I'm sorry. So, let's see how quick we can fix this. So, we're going to erase all that because all that's wrong. Hopefully you did it right, and you're not having to erase everything like I am. So, that breaks down to 3 and 10. The GCF of the front is just going to be x, and of the back, it's going to be positive 2. So we get x, and then we're left with 5x plus 3, and 2, 5x plus 3, which is good. So x plus 2, 5x plus 3. I'm just hoping you guys didn't make the same mistake I did. But now, excuse me, everything with a variable we set equal to 0. So x plus 2 equals 0, and 5x plus 3 equals 0. First one's easy, x equals negative 2. Now, on this side, we have to do a little bit more work. So we have to subtract the 3 and divide by 5. So our two answers, if you want to make them look all nice and pretty, is x equals negative 2 and negative 3 over 5. All right, let's move on over. Number 10, all on your own. Go ahead and pause the video, and then when you get up, all of the answers, the entire work and answers will be done. I want you to solve and see what you get, okay? Good luck. Okay, and there you go. Those are all the work for those two problems, or that problem. I double checked, so I am correct. There you go. So, if you have any questions on these, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. Otherwise, that's it for the first part of the video of the Chapter 7.5 Cumulative Review. Thanks for watching.